Alright, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, everybody. We changed the name of the channel from Brainflow TV to Hot Topics TV. And this is our first video that we're actually doing, saying the name of the channel, Hot Topics TV. So from now on, it's Hot Topics TV. Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, what we come to talk about today, let me first say this. This man's son, Alpo's son, Popporazi Po, he better run. He better go hide. Because they coming for you. They are on your ass, okay? You've been safe for a minute. This is a message to his son. You've been safe for a minute because you weren't the real target. But believe me, the sins of the father shall fall on the children. And in your case, they want your head. The reason they want your head is because your father not only killed men and women, but he also killed a child. This is karma coming all the way back around. Okay, so the story headline, you know, when the New York Times covers your story, then you're somebody, right? Because New York Times doesn't just cover anybody's passing. Mr. Martinez, who was 55 years old, who was immortalized in the film Paid in Full. If you saw the film Paid in Full, you would know that was the person who played Alpo was actually Cam, right? Dipset Cameron, Cam played Alpo, played a prominent role in New York violent cocaine war of decades past. Okay, so that was all in the past and all that, and people are asking, so who was Alpo? What was he about or whatever? Okay, Alpo Martinez, whose cocaine dealing empire stretched from New York to Washington, D.C. at the height of bloody drug war turf 3 decades ago. He was shot and killed in Harlem early Sunday, according to a high-ranking police official. Now, here's the thing. Back in them times, Alpo was known as the boogeyman, okay? Because he was not afraid to put that murder game down. He was really about that murder game. He took a lot of people's lives, and we're going to talk about this. The police said 53-year-old man was shot several times, and for those of y'all who really want to know the details, he got hit in the chest, he got hit in the chin, in the face, and he got hit in the arm while sitting in the driver's seat of a Dodge Ram on West 174th Street near Frederick Douglass Boulevard. He put his arm up, tried to block the shot from his face that hit his chin and hit his arm. The police official who spoke on the conditions of, listen, don't tell my identity, because he was not authorized to disclose the information, he identified the man as Mr. Martinez for sure, whose exploits have been immortalized in hip-hop songs and in the 2002 film Paid in Full. The police responded to the scene around 3:30 a.m. in the morning after receiving a 911 call and alerts from a system that detects gunshots. It's called a pop shot system. The man was transported to the Harlem hospital where he was declared dead on arrival. Now, he was found carrying ID bearing the name Abraham Rodriguez, according to the police. His vehicle also had temporary plates from Texas, the police said, and no arrests have been made so far concerning the death of Alpo. Now, in a prison interview with the Feds magazine, quoted in the New York Times in 1999, Mr. Martinez, listen to this, if you really want to know who he is. He confessed to 14 murders. 14 murders. 14. Let that sink in. So this man was far from innocent. He confessed to 14 murders before becoming a government witness. An informant. He described shooting a boyhood friend, which was Richard Porter, in 1990 because he suspected him of cutting in on drug deals. Actually, he spoke about it some other time, and he said he actually killed Rich because Rich wouldn't give him the proper information for the plug. The plug meaning the supplier. You understand? So, an accomplice had shot Mr. Porter twice, Mr. Martinez told the editor of the publication, which circulated among the inmates. He didn't die, so I shot him in the head. Mr. Martinez said, this is how Alpo described shooting his friend, his really, really good friend, somebody that puts you on in a drug game, was giving. Listen, Alpo was in a drug game before, but when he hooked up with Richard Porter, his game went to a whole other level. You understand? He became the man in the streets. And yes, he was known as the boogeyman. Live wire, murder game on rap, on tack. Mr. Martinez was raised in New York, and he came to play a prominent role in the violent turf battles over dealing cocaine and crack cocaine there starting in the 80s. He expanded his empire to Washington, D.C., where in 1991 he was arrested and later charged with 14 counts of murder, including the murder of a D.C. drug dealer and a Brooklyn drug dealer, among a slew of other charges. Now, I believe after he turned states, he also snitched on a couple of people. He snitched on his whole organization. Not just a couple of people, okay? He snitched on his whole organization. And when he did that, because you thinking people get life in prison for one murder. Double murder, you gone for life. This man was able to kill 14 people, snitch, use his get out of jail card. They still hit him with about 30 or 35 years. He served his time, he got out, and he could not let the streets go. Now, it is now confirmed by the police that after he got shot, he was seen throwing drugs out of his truck. He tried to hide his identity with a Halloween mask. That's how he got hit up. This man is supposed to be under the witness protection program, mind you. Okay? He was supposed to be all the way in Maine, I believe it is. In Maine. And he finds himself in Harlem. He just couldn't let Harlem go. He had that in his mind that he was king of Harlem, and he wanted to be king of Harlem, or he wanted to be recognized as king of Harlem. There he was on Halloween, going to a Halloween party, and he had on a mask that covered his face, his head, everything. It was hard to tell that that was him. So whoever had the drop on him, they knew already that that was him. They knew he was driving that red truck with the temporary Texas plates on it. Your plate says Texas and you in Harlem at a party. He was under the witness protection program. You know, I heard him say something in an interview one day, and it sounded like he was ready to accept his fate. Matter of fact, he said it. He said, why fight against something that's already written? It's already written. And when it's done, it's when it's supposed to be done. So why fight it? You know? And for that reason, and many other stupid reasons, I think, he couldn't stay out of the streets. He couldn't stay away from Harlem. Harlem kept calling him back. Harlem kept calling him back. You know? Now, see, there's two things about the streets. See, you might forget. You might have killed so many people that you forgot how many people. You might have killed so many people that you forgot how their faces look over time or whatnot. But the family members, the friends, the connections, they never forget. So there's two things that the streets don't ever do. The streets do not forget, and the streets do not forgive. Rich Porter and the others that he killed, those were kings, legitimate kings in the streets. They were loved and they were respected, and they fed a lot of people. I'm talking about fed a lot of people. Anybody got you making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, even millions, and making thousands of dollars a day, and extended that to so many other people? You got to understand that they're not going to forgive you like that. He went back to Harlem as if it was all good. And he's been walking around in Harlem ever since he got out, as if it was all good. Now, the most amazing thing I saw were the interviews on YouTube. Alpo was driving around, taking whoever the interviewer was to all the spots where he killed people and dumped their bodies. And he was describing to the detail, to the T. Yeah, and when we shot him, we heard nothing more. Except for he just slumped over. And like, I heard him like take that last breath, like, his last breath left his body, but that was it. And that's how he described his murder, like nonchalantly. Like, these people weren't worth nothing. There was no remorse. He never said, man, I got caught up in the streets and I regret doing all of this and I'm so sorry and I'm a changed man now. He didn't try to backpedal on none of that. None of it. I seen Faison Love speak about it, and Faison Love says Alpo was his friend. I want to tell Faison Love to be careful out there. Okay? Be careful out there. Because the streets are cleaning up. I'm going to tell you again. 2 things the streets never does. The streets never forgives. And the streets never forgets. Perfect timing. Halloween. In a mask. I'm sure the killer was masked up too. That Grim Reaper came and visited. Karma was paid in full. And I'm going to close this video out by saying it again. His son, Popporazi Po, if I were you, I would take myself as far away as possible. I would probably even ask to be put in the witness protection program. But, ego, people are going to live off of their egos until it's their time to go. And they meet the maker before. I wish them all the best. I seen Popporazi Po do a couple of videos before, and I wasn't too taken to the videos because, he was like living off his dad's status. Oh, your dad a real live wire. He a killer. He killed 14 people, whatever. And he was like, fuck the people who talk about my dad's a snitch or whatever. Okay. Your dad came home. Your dad is dead. Harlem ate his food. You're on the radar. Stay low, my dude. Stay low. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video on Hot Topics TV. I'm out. Peace.